Good morning, I'm Wendy Burke, and this is the CBC Morning Report for Friday, August 26. In our top story, the Barbados Light and Power has been making its case for a rate increase to the Barbados Chamber of Commerce and Industry. $6 to $12 more on average a month is how much customers will have to pay if the Barbados Light and Power Company gets its way. Management has declared the appeal to go before the Fair Trading Commission next month is urgent, and without approval, the utility will be unable to meet electricity demands as they currently stand. The current rate of return for the company is 3.31%. They want to push that up to about 8.79%, which equates to just over $46.4 million more in earnings annually. The manager for regulatory affairs, Dr. Adrian Carter, broke it down during the presentation to the BCCI.
For the typical residential customer shown here in this slide, their increase will be about a $12 increase, which is a 6% increase in their bill. Now, that customer is a customer who consumes just around 250 kilowatt hours in a month. Now, we do have, though, that represents just over 60% of our customer base. About 35% of our customer base, which represent about 40,000 customers, actually consume below that amount. And their increase will be, as shown here, basically limited to a $6 increase for those customers.
For commercial customers, like those members of the BCCI, the increase will be anywhere between 9% and 14% on their current monthly bill. BLPC General Manager Roger Blackman explains the utility is currently in a position where delaying the rate hike could mean significant challenges in meeting the demands of customers.
It is urgent. Like I said, we are managing the situation. We are making decisions in terms of prioritizing, like I mentioned, our capital program to ensure that it doesn't, as far as we can, there's certainly no immediate impact on safety and reliability, but it does challenge us for the longer term, because every time we defer something, for the reasons I explained earlier, it has an impact. There's only so much that we could have done before we start to put the business at risk and the investments at risk that we need to make going forward. So even as it stands now, because of the delay between October and now to have the full rate hearing heard, we have had to defer some of our capital budget from this year. We've deferred about maybe $50 million in capital spend that we would have budgeted for this year, simply because we need to manage cash flow, we need to manage the financials, we need to be prudent and work with what we have now.
In some good news, the utility has recently commissioned what they're calling the Clean Energy Bridge. It's a new medium-speed diesel plant at their Trent's facility in St. Lucie, and it runs on oil, but in a very efficient way, according to the general manager. He says it will pick up the slack for other plants which are not as efficient and acts as a bridge to the plan for 100% renewables by 2030. This level of efficiency at the new installation will also help customers save on their electricity bills.
So right now, it's stabilizing fuel prices, bringing costs down, saving CO2. Over the longer term, as renewables come onto the grid, that plant will serve more and more of a backup role to the renewables to fill in the gaps when that is not available, or when the combination of solar and battery isn't sufficient.
BLPC will present their case before the Fair Trading Commission on September 21st, and the hearing will run until October 6th. Coming up next on the CBC Morning Report, updates on the pandemic and the war in Ukraine. Barbados recorded 182 new cases from the 752 tests conducted on Wednesday. Of the positive cases, 24 people are under the age of 18 and 158 are 18 years and older. There were 77 people in isolation facilities, while 2,320 were in home isolation. Under the National Vaccination Program for COVID-19, the total number of fully vaccinated people is 154,348. The Australian government is to launch an inquiry into a decision by former Prime Minister Scott Morrison to secretly appoint himself to 5 ministries during the pandemic.
One day after receiving advice from Australia's Solicitor General, Prime Minister Anthony Albanese unveiled his report. It's found that his predecessor's decision to appoint himself covertly to 5 ministerial roles was legal, but failing to inform his cabinet, the parliament, the public and 4 ministers was inconsistent with how the country should be run.
The advice, though, is, I think, a very clear criticism and critique of the implications that are there for our democratic system of government.
During the pandemic, Scott Morrison swore himself in as Joint Minister for Health, Home Affairs, Finance, Treasury and Resources. The Governor-General oversaw the appointment, but he too didn't inform Parliament. That was cleared by the nation's top lawyer. Albanese says a wider inquiry is needed.
The inquiry will need to examine what happened and how it happened. It will also need to examine what the implications are for what occurred, over whether there are any legal issues that are raised.
Constitutional lawyers agree and say that Parliament needs to be informed of all ministerial appointments if democracy is to be upheld.
If we have secret ministers, as it seems we had, that's an affront to those principles and to those norms. That it frustrates the ability and prevents Parliament holding ministers accountable. If you don't know who the ministers are and which ministers are responsible for what, Parliament can't, that process of ministerial accountability to Parliament, it doesn't work.
Prime Minister Albanese has flagged the loophole that allows ministry appointments to be made without informing the public and has asked his department to make that a priority.
As for Scott Morrison, the former Prime Minister said it was in the national interest for him to take on the extra portfolios during the pandemic, an extraordinary and unprecedented time. So far, he's refused to resign.
Unvaccinated Novak Djokovic has withdrawn from the US Open and finally admitted defeat in his quest to compete in the last Grand Slam of the year. The 20-time Grand Slam champion had left his name on the entry list despite COVID-19 vaccination being mandated for foreign visitors arriving in the United States.
Former tennis world number 1 has not been vaccinated and due to COVID-19 restrictions in the United States, won't be able to travel to New York to compete at Flushing Meadows. The 21-time Grand Slam champion made the announcement on Twitter and wished his fellow players good luck. We've been speaking to the president of tennis's world governing body. He says the sport has done all it can to encourage players to get vaccinated.
We know how much it means to Novak to want to participate in the US Open, where he's had great success over the years. He's certainly had a very successful 2022 as well on the court. So it really comes down to the government and the states laws in according to vaccinations, and at this point in time he's not able to enter. We work very closely with both the men and the women's tours, and as well as the 4 Grand Slams, and I think together as tennis we felt that what we wanted to do was to encourage the players to get vaccinations, and at a number of the events players were given access to a vaccination if they so chose. The majority of the players have been vaccinated, but again, it's a personal choice, and so that's the approach that tennis as a governing body, the 7 stakeholders together, really thought it was best to approach it the way that we did.
More Ukrainians are dead after another rocket attack by Russia.
The aftermath of a Russian strike. Victims are trying to recover from the shock. Dozens of people were killed when missiles hit the city of Chaplin in eastern Ukraine. Sergei lost his 11-year-old son in one of the strikes in a residential area.
Yes, he was in the house. He was thrown out of there. We looked for him here in the ruins, and he was lying here. Nobody knew that he was here. Nobody knew. We thought maybe he was thrown onto the roof, but he was lying here.
Missiles also hit a passenger train, killing dozens of people, including children. The Russian Defense Ministry says the attack killed more than 200 Ukrainian service members and destroyed military equipment. People in their homes at the time say the attacks came as a surprise.
There was no sound. Nothing at all was heard. Just an explosion. Fire. Explosion, and then the fire started.
This is the second time Russia has hit a passenger train during the war. Last April, more than 50 people were killed in a railway station in Kramatorsk, also in the east. The attacks in Chaplin happened on Wednesday, while Ukraine celebrated 31 years of independence from Soviet rule. The Russian government says it's trying to prevent civilian casualties, but the reality on the ground is completely different, as schools, hospitals and universities have been shelled in the past months, and civilian deaths continue to mount.
It's time now to preview what's coming up on Morning Barbados. We say good morning to Pearson Boone.
Good morning, Wendy. Good morning, everyone. It is the weekend, and so there are a number of things happening this weekend we'd like to remind you of. For instance, tomorrow's day out at the Exchange Museum. We'll be telling you all about that and how you can be a part of the full day of fun and festivity, and an opportunity also to learn more with the family. So look out for that as well. Today, we'll also share with you an effort by the Lodge School PE department. They are fighting back the lions. They have a big activity on tonight. We'll tell you how you can join that fundraiser and what kind of fun is in store for you. Also today, Walk the Talk is back. We want to hear from them, the organizers, the Red Foundation. What's different, what's new, what's exciting, and how we can lend support to that community initiative. Those are just a bit of what you can expect when you join me at 6:30 for Morning Barbados. Wendy, it's back to you.
Thank you, Pearson, and we look forward to this show at the bottom of the hour. More news on the CBC Morning Report when we return after the break. A global leadership consultant is encouraging leaders in Barbados and the region to continue their efforts at economic reform to keep pace with global financial transitions that are taking place. Ambassador Dr. Andre Thomas was speaking at the opening of the Caribbean Investment Summit at the Barbados Hilton. He notes most countries in the region depend almost solely on tourism for their economic prosperity, but warns the sector remains extremely vulnerable to geopolitical and climate shocks.
Our world is not as stable as it was before. Okay, so that's the reality. And so that is going to affect what? Travel. Now, I'm not saying that we don't nourish, we don't develop our tourism product. Absolutely. I mean, I'm in the Caribbean, it's one of the best places in the world to be in. But what I'm saying is that just like cities around the world, they evolve. And so economically, we have to evolve.
The three-day summit, which started yesterday, will consider topics like solar energy, the green economy and cryptocurrencies as engines for economic transformation. According to Ambassador Thomas, they are the sectors which are now attracting investment financing.
We've looked at sectors where, just using the metaphor, money has flown to, where a significant volume of economic transactions have flown to. And we're sought to now highlight these sectors to the Caribbean, to the many men and women who would have wanted to be here, but because of the air travel situation, are watching virtually. These are for you as well. And so the many governmental leaders watching us. So we have focused each particular sector is an opportunity for the region.
The maritime industry can be a major economic driver for Barbados and the Caribbean, but the integration of services holds the key to its development. The observation from Chief Executive Officer and Co-Chairman of Upturn Funds USA, Raphael De Angelis, a resource fellow on the maritime project, also at the Caribbean Investment Summit at Hilton, Barbados. Mr. De Angelis says research shows the sector has the potential to grow by 15%.
One country in the Caribbean has cheap power. Another one might have cheap natural resources, but if we don't integrate them, we can't get them to move from A to B to export. And also, there is no airlines in the Caribbean today. We need to find a way to move people around, and airlines obviously has been shown that it's very unstable. Port and shipping and cargo and people, we have multiple layers of revenue stream, and we can move people at the same time that we're moving cars, at the same time that we are moving goods and services. And that's the idea behind this.
The Barbados Fire Service is proving it can do more than just put out fires and rescue people. As we hear in this report by Sharika Griffith, the entity is also helping to mold the country's youth and equip them with skills for life.
There were dramatic scenes at the Barbados Fire Academy in Arch Hall, St. Thomas, as 15 fire cadets put their training into action, administering first aid to people injured in a burning building. It was just one of several demonstrations as the fire service held its 20th passing out parade for participants of its Fire Cadets program. Stressing that it's not a camp, Fire Chief Errol Maynard said the 7-week developmental program is helping to make participants more productive citizens.
I'm proud to say that many of our cadets have gained employment, as I said, with the Ministry of Health and Wellness Operation and Logistical Center. They've worked at the airport and at testing sites. They've also been trained to efficiently function in the Barbados Fire Service Dispatch Center. And all reports, again, has all been positive. It shows us that the Barbados Fire Service is not all about emergencies and running to fires and taking people from cars and education. But we believe that we are playing our part and that we can play our part in the development of our young boys and girls.
Mr. Maynard is urging parents to support their children when they're doing something positive.
You need to support them and encourage them to be engaged in wholesome and positive activities. We're hearing too much ill about the young people nowadays. We are hearing that they're shooting one another, they're killing one another, they're stealing, they're involved in drugs. You name it that is negative, we are hearing about it. And it makes frontline news. I want to tell the media here today that sometimes, not sometimes, all the time we should highlight the positive. When they're doing the positive things, we need to put that on the front page.
15-year-old Sierra King spoke of her experience gained from the program.
I have learned so much since I have been here. I have learned how to march. I have learned about basic ranks, basic drill, and nearly hose and hydrant, knot tying, and so on. Additionally, not only do I have a nice salary like Mr. Broom, I also get to save lives. I am honored to be a part of this academy, and thank you for having me here, seriously.
The cadets were rewarded for their skills in foot drill, hose drill, ropes and knots, and theory. The award for Best Overall Fire Cadet was won by Amaya Phillips. Sharika Griffith, CBC News.
A Barbadian fashion designer is doing her best to pass on the art of dressmaking to the next generation of females. Kamisha Skeet is currently hosting a fashion summer camp for girls between the ages of 5 and 12. CBC's Rianne Phillips reports.
So I'm going to be measuring my very beautiful assistant, Soraya. We're going to measure her bust, which is all around here. We're going to measure her arm depth to see how big the sleeve has to be. We're going to measure her hips and her waist.
That's 12-year-old Raina Leach, one of the 18 girls between 5 and 12 years old currently enrolled in a fashion camp. As we hear from host Kamisha Skeet, measurements are just one of the areas covered during the 6-week camp.
They've been learning color boards, mood boards, how to stitch. We started with papers first, so they will learn how to stitch straight. Then we moved on to fabrics, so that's where we are right now. I think it's very important because then you can do stuff for yourself or for your granny. Also, you can take it into a career.
And students have been telling us what they've learned from the sessions.
We learned different patterns, different color schemes, what blends well with each other, and we've learned how to pin clothing on mannequins. And I think when I'm done, I feel like I will be in Hollywood one day and probably tell this to a famous celebrity or work with a famous celebrity.
I am making a shirt with a belly out and a slanted skirt. And what I have learned so far is how to sew, how to really use the machines and how to get comfortable with the machines. I think that when I'm done this camp, I will be able to make my own clothes.
And I love to do the stitching and painting too. And I like to make clothes for my dolls. I learned how to sew with a sewing machine. And I learned how to sew with my hands. I like all the types of body types.
Dressmaking lessons for women and a design school are part of Kamisha's future plans.
Everybody keep asking me, you can teach adult classes, but these are not going to be just sewing classes. So get prepared, look out. But yes, I am definitely going to do that. But one step at a time.
Rianne Phillips, CBC News.
The way Google calculates the climate impact of your flights has changed. Flights now appear to have much less impact on the environment than before. That's because the world's biggest search engine has taken a key driver of global warming out of its online carbon flight calculator.
The change makes every flight appear to have less of an impact on the environment than it did before. The company says it made the move after consulting with industry partners. But environmental activists are calling it the airbrushing of CO2 emissions. Let's bring in Kumi Naidu. He's the host of the environmental podcast, Power, People and Climate, and the former executive director of Greenpeace International. He joins us now from Johannesburg. So, put very simply, what do you make of this?
I think it's quite ridiculous, and let's try to understand what they're saying, right? So basically, there are both CO2 emissions and non-CO2 emissions, right? They have now only factored in CO2 emissions, but not taking into account coal trails and nitrogen oxide, for example, which is also heat trapping. Now, Google is not saying that they are not committed to looking at all the impacts. But what they're saying is that currently the calculation is wrong because it doesn't take time of day or regional variation. And therefore, they said, and by the way, they didn't transparently, they put this on a little known bulletin board called GitHub, which most of the consumers won't know of. And basically, they just unilaterally said, okay, it's wrong now, so let's actually make it more wrong, right? So essentially what they've done, they've taken out all the non-carbon dioxide components of it. And so it just doesn't make sense. It's irresponsible. It's inexplicable that they would do that. And it's also a problem that they did it with so limited transparency.
And why is it so important then to know this information accurately in any case?
Well, basically, if we are saying that the aviation industry is responsible for about 3.5% of global emissions, that's quite a significant amount, right? So when we look at greenhouse trapping gases, we have to look at carbon dioxide, nitrogen oxide, and look the full impact of what aviation does in terms of climate change and greenhouse gases. And Google is not saying that that's not right to do. They're just saying the calculation is wrong and they unilaterally. And so people need to know. So consumers, for example, especially people becoming more and more, if you want, environmentally conscious and want to do the right thing, they have a right for Google to treat them like adults. And what is problematic here? They just say industry partners. Which industry partners? And let's be clear that there has been a lot of collusion between different industries in terms of holding back progress and not acting with the ambition that the situation calls for. So this is actually really unhelpful in terms of us trying to catch up on the pathway we are in terms of climate at the moment.
And in sports, Barbados Royals have won their opening fixture of the 60 men's competition, beating Trinbago Knight Riders last evening at Warner Park in St. Kitts. Knight Riders batted first and their innings closed on 76 for 6 from 7.5 overs. p.m. The seas are calm to smooth to moderate in open water, with swells ranging from 0.5 to 1 meters and steady. The weather picture now for today: a mix of sunshine and clouds with occasional scattered light to moderate showers and a slight chance of isolated thunderstorms. Tonight will be clear with cloudy periods with a few brief scattered light to moderate showers. And here's now a look at the international cities. Our next newscast will be Newsday, and you can also join us for the World at 1 on the radio network of stations. It's now time for Pearson and Morning Barbados.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Barbados, get up. Good morning. Good morning, Barbados. Good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning, Barbados.
Fantastic Friday morning to you indeed. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Friday. Welcome to the end of the work week for some. And welcome to another day where we can all rise and shine and give God the glory. I'm Pearson Bowen, welcoming you here, there, and everywhere. Thank you, as always, for joining us on our streams on YouTube and Facebook. We do encourage you to continue watching and engaging with us there as well. Now, it being Friday, you know, we call it Fresh Fridays. And so today the question is, what do you do when you bring great Bajan talent together? Oh, you have excellence indeed. And a lot of them we'll share with you today. Chian will come with a good set of friends. They've done some new music and we'll share with you the information on that project. All of your questers, Carlos Cobham and MC Nice will be by. They have a brand new track releasing today and it's called Royalty. What is that about and how can we engage with it? Where is it available? All of those kinds of things we'll share with you as well. Nisha Woods, the amazing, outstanding Nisha Woods comes by. She's just released a new song and a new video. We'll share all of that with you. We'll talk about that journey and we'll talk about why Dominica is so special to her in that particular production as well. Also today, Walk the Talk. That big charitable event is back in the month of September. What are the logistics and how you can engage with this big community give back? We'll talk to you a little bit more about that as well. The Lord's School is having a big fundraiser tonight. They too are continuing to fight back as they raise funds to assist the physical education department there. We'll be hearing a little bit about what's happening tonight and where it will be, what it will be, and how we can be there to lend our support too. But let's get started by one of the big events this weekend, which is a trip to the Exchange Museum in Spry Street, the city. Joining us as we reignite our interest in this activity is Lachey Drayton, the Marketing and Events Officer with the Barbados Museum and Historical Society. Along with her is the Communications Coordinator, Elena Pinder. Good morning again, ladies.
Good morning.
All right, Lachey, we are just hours away from that big family-funded, that big fair at the Exchange Museum. If anyone missed it earlier this week, let's remind them about where it is and what's happening this weekend. I see your mouth moving, but I don't hear your voice coming at me, Lachey. There we go. Yes, ma'am. Now you go ahead.
Hi, morning, Pearson. Apologies about that.
That's all right.
But yes, tomorrow, Saturday, the 27th of August, we will be having a cultural fair at the Exchange Museum in Bridgetown. The Exchange Museum is located in Spry Street, the city. That is right next to the Central Bank in the courtyard. You cannot miss it. Within the Exchange Museum, you can come down. We're going to have guided tours of the museum itself. We're going to have vendors. We're going to have things for the kids. We're going to have entertainment. I'll let Elena tell you more details about some of these things.
Yes. Elena, you have just been invoked.
So in terms of entertainment, we are having the Barbados Police Band. They will be giving us a performance. We are also having Colin Spencer, who will be also giving us some entertainment as well. We have lots of activities, especially for the children. We have face painting. We have treasure hunts throughout the day. We are having lots of local vendors. These vendors will be playing their trades in jewelry, and care, as well as food as well, because you cannot have a fair without some refreshment.
Yes.
Throughout these days, we'll also be having giveaways as well, and these are giveaways to the Barbados Museum bus tours, as well as our vouchers to our new interactive Gyro Boosters Children's Gallery, in addition to discounts to some of the items that you will find in our shop. At the Barbados Museum, we believe in supporting 100% Bajan, 100% local, so these are the types of products that you will find in our shop and you can purchase with your discounted vouchers. So yes, as Lachey would have mentioned, there's lots to do at the Exchange tomorrow, lots for the adults and lots for the kids as well.
Now, folks, you're hearing all of this and you're thinking, but a lot of it sounds outdoorsy, but there is some indoor activity as well because there are 2 floors of the Exchange, and so there are guided tours. Lachey, talk to me a little bit about that and what, when we step inside and we go on those guided tours, we'll be interacting with.
Okay. So one of the beautiful things about the Exchange Museum is that the galleries are interactive. So you get to touch, you get to feel things. So you're not just walking around and reading. And our tour guide will be explaining things as we go around. The exhibits within the Exchange Museum, they focus on currency, they focus on education, they also focus on business and trade. And on the top floor of the Exchange Museum, there is a whole exhibit on Freemasonry. And one of the great things that's happening tomorrow as well is that we're having not one, but 2 talks by some Masons who will come through and discuss things like the beneficial effects of Freemasonry, and also Freemasonry contribution to society, so that people can get an understanding of what they really do. There's a lot of assumptions and a lot of myths, so we encourage people to come down tomorrow and actually come out and listen to these talks as well. Be educated while having fun.
It's going to be so much fun. I'm serious. In town tomorrow. I know that, there's some sort of admission fee as well. Talk to me about what that fee is and what that fee gives and brings.
Okay, so in terms of admission, adults pay just $10 and children pay $5. And when I say children, I mean persons between the ages of 5 and 17 years old. So that is what the admission fee is looking like. Usually it is around that to get into the exchange, to be honest. So if you are not able to come to the exchange tomorrow for our culture fair, we are open Monday to Saturday from 9 a.m. until 5 p.m. So yes, if you're not able to come tomorrow, we would welcome you to come any other day.
Oh, okay, so that's that. So now we understand what the admission fee is to get into the museum. And then the Exchange Museum, as a matter of fact, not the one by the Garrison. We're talking is Price Street in the city. The Exchange Museum, that's where we will be tomorrow. From what time to what time again?
So from between the hours of 10 a.m. and 6 p.m., we will be at the Exchange. And one thing we can confirm today is that we will be having parking for persons who are attending the event. Nice. So if you're coming down, you can come through, coming towards the Grand South Church Street entrance. There's a car park at the back. You can feel free to park behind there and just walk on over to the event.
Good. So, folks, there's only one way to enter the Central Bank. You come off here, only one way, as if you're coming from Queen's Park, and you just make that right turn in there by the crossing, and you make your way and you go around to the back. I know there's ample parking behind there, so you park there, you just walk around the building slightly, and there you are at the Exchange, just right there on Spread Street, right there almost in the complex of the Central Bank, the Tom Adams Financial Center. It's tomorrow. It's going to be a really, really good day. A good day for the entire family, whatever age. Come down to the Exchange Culture Fair, a day of learning and fun for the family. Adults who just pay 10 and children 5. And from 10 till 6 o'clock, explore while you're there the history of currency, the history of trade, business, education. And of course, you'll have a tour of the museum as well. So lots of things for the children to do as well. There's a treasure hunt. There will be live performances by the police band, Colin Spencer, local vendors will be there galore, face painting, food and drinks on sale, lots of giveaways, some exciting giveaways, and so much is happening there tomorrow at the Exchange, the museum in town. So this is fantastic. Once again, I know, Lisha, you want to tell us your partners so that we can recognize their contribution as well?
Yes, we are very pleased and thankful to our partners, the Central Bank of Barbados, the Barbados Museum and Historical Society, as well as Parsons Pest Control. We are very thankful that they understood the vision and what we're trying to do here. So thank you for coming on board.
Oh dear, we've caught the vision. We are catching the bus. We're driving our cars. We're coming down to the Exchange Museum tomorrow, folks. Now you know, rather than just going to town and do shops, stop by the Barbados Museum's Exchange Museum and you will engage with so much. There's a lot of fun. Spend the day, take your time and browse and see. Thank you so much, Lachey and Elena as well, for joining us this morning. I really hope tomorrow is a tremendous success. It's for a lot of people, it's a new activity, and I really want people to engage with this other thing in Barbados at the Exchange Museum in Price Street, the city. Thank you so much and all the best.
Thank you, Pearson.
You're welcome. You're welcome indeed. Morning Barbados takes a break here. We're coming back in just a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you. Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
15 minutes to 7 o'clock now. The Lodge School, known as Lions. They're constantly roaring and they're constantly fighting, but they also have a wonderful sports program there, and there's a lot that their old scholars continue to engage with too. And so joining us, because they have a big activity on tonight, to tell us more about that is a head of the PE department, Mr. Clifton Phillips. With him is the president of the Lodge School Alumni, the Old Scholars Association, Henry Ennis. Good morning to you, gentlemen.
Good morning, Pearson, and good morning, Barbados.
Thank you so much. You know, we know that the Lodge School is extremely competitive, but very strong sports people as well over the years. And so that's what we're talking about today. So, Henry, let's talk a little bit about what's happening tonight and what the Old Scholars is doing.
Okay, so probably about 6 weeks ago, Mr. Phillips, who's the head of the Physical Education Department at Lodge School, came to me with this idea that had been given to him by an old scholar. that they would have a cricket game at the school on a night. So of course the first thought was, well, we don't have lights at school that will be able to be used for cricket. So I felt that we had to get lights from some source, and old scholar Busy Williams was able to help us in a very easy and eager way to get lighting at the school. And we contacted him, and he said yes, he would go ahead and do it. His son Stuart, who runs that part of their operation, was also very accommodating, and he assisted us. We got the lights at the school just yesterday. We got them working last night, and we are ready to go with this wonderful event. The event actually is going to be a 2020 game between current students and some younger old scholars. Yeah, not of my vintage, very young old scholars.
Yes.
We are expecting we're going to have food, we're going to have drinks, we're going to have entertainment. Cooper Dan and another young entertainer is going to be there. So it's going to be a full package, and we encourage all old scholars, all staff, all friends of law school to come out and give us your full support. Funds will be for the assistance of the PE department to purchase equipment. We have a whole, Clifton can give you the list of equipment that we need to have at the school. But yeah, I think we have a wonderful event tonight at the law school. And we look forward to seeing you there as well, Pearson.
We'll see. At 7:30 it starts under the lights. The newly commissioned lights on the grounds of the Lodge School in St. John. For the very first time, we are playing T20 cricket under those lights. It's one of those historic moments that everybody should not miss. We should all be there indeed. It's making history tonight at the grounds of the Lodge School. Now, Clifton, Henry just said that, your PE department, and we know your physical education department has really been producing some great athletes representing Barbados. We've seen it at inter-school sports, and we've seen it beyond inter-school sports. And so that development, however, requires equipment. So what is it that your PE department now needs to further turn out a whole host of outstanding Barbadian athletes?
Well, as Pearson, we need, we're trying to get hurdles. We need to have a new bowling machine. We're looking to get some matting for the concrete strip which we have at present, but the balls, they're being destroyed quite quickly when we have to bowl them on the concrete. Our high jump pit, we're looking to have that upgraded. The long jump pit, we're looking to have that upgraded. We're looking to help students. We have students who are in need. We have only last week I was speaking to a student and trying to find out why he wasn't at cricket practice. He said, well, sir, I don't have enough money. And when he checked, it takes him $14 to get to and from cricket on one day. And when you calculate that, in a week, 2 training sessions, that's $28, and in a month, that's $116. And some parents are struggling with that. So we don't want students to have to miss out on these kind of opportunities, these life-changing, career-changing opportunities. So we want to do something. We don't want to sit by and say, well, we don't have X, we don't have Y. We want to get up and start doing something. So we're really looking at tonight, the friends of the Lodge, the law school, all scholars, students, parents, everybody will come out and support this worthy venture.
You're right. I mean, the rallying call, carrying call has gone really for everybody to rise up Lodge schoolers, rise up indeed Barbados, and let's lend support to this effort here with the Lodge School. As Mr. Phillips just said, we're developing young people in sport, and sport brings such tremendous benefit and value, doesn't it, Clifton, to the development of the young people?
Yes. What we want to do with these students, these young students, we want to capture their minds before their minds are captured. So we want to do as much as we can to help these students. We want to give them the opportunity to go there. Right now we have Shamar Brooks, who's doing pretty well for the West Indies.
Yes.
We have people like Darian King who came through the system. Floyd Reefy was before my time, but he was part of the program. We have quite a few people, Shadia Seeley, and several students who have gone off on scholarship. We want the next generation not to suffer because of a lack of resources. So we really want to get in there and have this done. The 2 teams tonight will be named after 2 outstanding past employees of the law school, Nigel Newton and Michael Crawford. Both of them were involved in 1983 when Lodge won the first school team to ever win an intermediate title in Barbados at a time when a school team was seen as 8 points.
Yes.
These young gentlemen from the law school went down to Wanderers and conquered, the Cable and Wireless team in a very decisive way. And these two gentlemen have inspired generations to come of the law school students. And we want to show them that we really appreciate what they would have done. Michael Crawford, he got 80 plus wickets. Nigel Newton, he got over 800 runs. Now we have people who are struggling to make 400 and feeling good about it. So we want to highlight these people and let them know that there are also heroes of the law school. From a groundsman, Michael Crawford went on and he got his master's and he taught at the school. Nigel Newton has written a book on groundsmanship. So we want these students to realize that wherever you are, wherever you start in life, you don't have to end. So we want to give that opportunity to them. And we really want all of Barbados, we want you to come out and really support this exciting venture that we're going to be putting on tonight. We don't have an admission fee, but because we know that the law school people, the friends of law school, the past students, you will come out and you will support when we ask for a donation tonight, because this is going to, go very, very far towards helping this present and the future students of the school.
Absolutely. I like the phrase you use. We want to capture their minds before they're captured. I just like that phrase. I will never forget it. And so, Henry, the Old Scholars Association is lending its full support to all of these fundraising activities. And I mean, you do have a slate of activities. But tonight, while admission is free and we really have ample space under the lights on the grounds at the Lodge School, what are you asking us to come with so that we can really pour into the development of the physical education department there at the school?
Well, one of the main things will be funding that's required. So we would wish for everyone to come to the school very prepared and willing to purchase items that are on sale and to make donations generally to the effort. This effort, as I said earlier, is really important to the school. The Old Scholars Association was actually planning at the time when this concept was introduced. We were planning to have a hike, a breakfast hike, and that hike is going to be on the 2nd of October, and all funds raised from that hike will go towards the physical education department and the equipment that is required for that department to thrive. So tonight, as persons come to the school, we want large groups to come out. We've been encouraging, through our chats, we've been encouraging our scholars to see this as a line, come up to the school, treat it like a line. You would have gone to Oystins or wherever else, have a line and buy food, buy drink, have fun, reminisce. Come up to the law school tonight. Many of you haven't been back to the school for a long time. Many of our old scholars, this is a chance to come back, cool, meet up with old friends, reminisce, have fun, and make a really enjoyable night of this event.
You're so right. Spread the word. In other words, old scholars, spread the word. Bring everybody out. Look for those who would have been sitting next to you in class or within your little group at school and tell them, come tonight under the lights on the grounds of the Lodge School in St. John. There's going to be a big T20 match, some relatively young old scholars against some of the current players at the school. It is going to be a ding-dong battle. This is going to be so exciting indeed. While admission is free, we want you to buy the food, buy the drinks, make your donations. And so, Henry, for anyone who wants to know more about how, the October event, how they can lend their support to those and any other way, where can they go? How can they find out ways and means that they can make donations into this effort?
Okay, so our website, www.thelsosa.com. It's going to be there on that website. You can post, you can make donations through the website. We have a number of flyers that are in our chats right now, and persons have been seeing it. They can make donations there as well. We also have tickets that we are going to be selling to persons who wish to come to the hike and to make donations. It's a breakfast hike, so they start up at the school from 6 o'clock. on October the 2nd, and they end there around 9:15. And breakfast will be served to those who purchase the tickets that come with breakfast. So we expect that we will raise a sizable amount of funds for the school, and in particular the PE department.
Good. So all Lord School scholars who are also overseas, spread the word too. Make your donations indeed. But tonight, 7:30, on the grounds of Lord School for the very first time, under the lights, a big T20 match is on. It's going to be fantastic. It is a first for the school. It's a first in the area, and so don't miss this first. Be there indeed and lend your support. Thank you so much, Henry Ennis, who is the president of the Old Scholars Association.
Can I thank a few people?
Quickly, very quickly.
All right, I want to thank the canteen preparator, the PTA. The PTA is very involved, the Law School Old Scholars Association, Williams Industry, KMJ Transport and Funeral Services, Massive Distribution through their product Milo, LNS Laboratory of Sports, and Trophy World. And I expect to see all of you at the Law School tonight.
Well done. Clifton Phillips, the head of the PE department there at the Law School, with Henry Ennis, president of the Old Scholars Association. Thank you, gentlemen. All the best tonight and going forward.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. We'll take a break right here. When we come back quickly, I'll give you a chance to win some water with Pure water filtration. Stay with us.
When I take these young boys down at Law School to be with Old Scholars, not at all. But wait. At the school, motto says they can because they think they can, but they can't. Just can't. This Friday, 26th of August, on the lights at the Law School. Get there.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you. Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
It is indeed 7 o'clock in Barbados and the Eastern Caribbean. Time for us to get an update on the news. Once again, here is Wendy Burke.
Yes, good morning to our viewers again. The Barbados Light and Power has been making its case for a rate increase to the Barbados Chamber of Commerce and Industry. $6 to $12 more on average a month is how much customers will have to pay if the Barbados Light and Power gets its way. Management has declared the appeal to go before the Fair Trading Commission next month urgent. And without approval, the utility will be unable to meet electricity demands as they currently stand. The current rate of return for the company is 3.31%, and they want to push it to about 8.79%, which equates to just over $46.4 million more in earnings annually. The manager for regulatory affairs, Dr. Adrian Carter, broke it down during the presentation to the chamber.
For the typical residential customer shown here in this slide, their increase will be about a $12 increase, which is a 6% increase in their bill. Now that customer is a customer who consumes just around 250 kilowatt hours in a month. Now we do have that represents just over 60% of our customer base. About 35% of our customer base, which represent about 40,000 customers, actually consume below that amount. And their increase will be, as shown here, basically limited to a $6 increase for those customers.
For commercial customers, those numbers. For commercial customers, like the members of the chamber, the increase will be anywhere between 9 and 14% of the current monthly bill. BLPC General Manager Roger Blackman explains the utility is currently in a position where delaying the rate hike could mean significant challenges in meeting the demands of customers.
It is urgent. Like I said, we are managing the situation, and we are making decisions in terms of prioritizing, like I mentioned, our capital program to ensure that it doesn't, as far as we can, there's certainly no immediate impact on safety and reliability, but it does challenge us for the longer term, because every time we defer something, for the reasons I explained earlier, has an impact. There's only so much that we could have done before we start to put the business at risk and the investments at risk that we need to make going forward. So even as it stands now, because of the delay between October and now to have the full rate hearing heard, we have had to defer some of our capital budget from this year. We've deferred about maybe $50 million in capital spend that we would have budgeted for this year, simply because we need to manage cash flow, we need to manage the financials, we need to be prudent and work with what we have now.
A global leadership consultant is encouraging leaders in Barbados and the region to continue their efforts at economic reform to keep pace with global financial transitions that are taking place. Ambassador Dr. Andre Thomas was speaking at the opening of the Caribbean Investment Summit at the Barbados Hilton. He notes most countries in the region depend almost solely on tourism for their economic prosperity, but warns the sector remains extremely vulnerable to geopolitical and climate shocks.
Our world is not as stable as it was before. Okay, so that's the reality. And so that is going to affect what? Travel. Now, I'm not saying that we don't nourish, we don't develop our tourism product. Absolutely. I mean, I'm in the Caribbean, it's one of the best places in the world to be in. But what I'm saying is that just like cities around the world, they evolve. And so economically, we have to evolve.
The maritime industry can be a major economic driver for Barbados and the Caribbean, but the integration of services holds the key to its development. The observation from Chief Executive Officer and Co-Chairman of Upturn Funds USA, Raphael De Angelis. A resource fellow on the Maritime Project, also at the Caribbean Investment Summit at Hilton, Barbados, Mr. De Angelis says research shows the sector has the potential to grow by 15%.
One country in the Caribbean has cheap power. Another one might have cheap natural resources. But if we don't integrate them, we can't get them to move from A to B to export. And also, there is no airlines in the Caribbean today. We need to find a way to move people around, and airlines obviously has been shown that it's very unstable. Port and shipping and cargo and people, we have multiple layers of revenue stream, and we can move people at the same time that we're moving cars, at the same time that we are moving goods and services. And that's the idea behind this.
And that's News Pearson. It's now back over to you for more Morning Barbados.
Thank you, Wendy. Our time is 5 after the hour of 7. We'll take a break here. We're coming back in a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you. Morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
So we're 7 minutes after 7 o'clock. I did promise you'll give you a chance to win some water, right? I did. And so I want to live up on my promise, because a promise to a fool is just nothing. Right, so anyway, a chance for you to give me a call now on 228-5562 or 228-5563. Why? Because I have a question for you. I also have in my hand the bottle, and this bottle bears everything relative to the question I'm going to ask. I hope you have a similar bottle and that you can now perhaps glean from that bottle the answer to this question. What images can you find on the labels used on the Bajan Pure water bottle during the crop over season? So what images will you find on the label on the Bajan Pure water bottle that was used during the crop over festival? So what images do you see? And there are quite a number of them. If you take a look at it very carefully, as I have, you will see the answer to what I'm talking about. 228-5562 or 228-5563. Come on, get snappy, get moving, and tell me the images that you see on the label of the bottle that was used for crop over, during the crop over festival. The Bajan Pure water that was used, that you drank. Tell me, what did you see? What images do you see? And they're quite a few characters. Tell me what they are. Good morning. Hello.
Hi, good morning.
Hi, how are you?
I'm sleepy, but I'm okay.
Let me use sleepy. How do you do that at 7 o'clock in the morning? What happened? Why are you so sleepy at 7 in the morning?
I had a rough night.
You had a long night doing, just out of curiosity, doing what?
I was out watching TV.
Your TV at it. So therefore you have nowhere to go today, right?
No, I don't.
Why not? I mean, life of luxury. I love it indeed. So what's your answer for me, madam?
Can you repeat the question again?
The question is, what images can you find on the labels on the Bajan Pure water bottle that was used during crop over?
Oh, they threw away my bottle. Okay.
You threw it away, or you set it to recycle? What did you do?
I threw it away. But
Try, go ahead.
So I'm guessing there were people jumping around, images of people jumping around, costumes. What else did that crop over? Well, it more than likely had a Bajan Pure flag or something on it.
Oh, you are so funny. You are so funny. You sleepy for true. Stop. Let me save you from yourself. No, sister. Thank you for trying, though, okay?
Nothing like that. Oh, my gosh. I tried.
I'm not answering that part. But you're guessing for truth. Have a good morning here. Thank you very much. You're welcome, indeed. Thank you for trying. Come on, folks. Who's next? Come on. 228-5562 or 228-5563. What images can you find on the labels? Wait. Hello. Good morning.
Morning, Pearson. How are you?
How are you? I'm good. Thank you for asking. How are you?
I'm all right.
So listen, what are you laughing at?
I believe the answer is Mother Sally, though.
That's your final answer?
Yes.
Is that your only answer, or was there anything else on the label?
I just figure by his crop over, I figured my study.
In other words, when you pick up the bottle, you didn't look at the label at all. You just wanted a drink.
Yes.
Right? You see that? And for that, I'm going to have to tell you no.
All right. Mm-hmm.
All right. Thank you, madam. You all need to look at bottles. You know, perhaps I'm guilty too, you know, but there's this label. This label carries all the answers that I'm looking for today. The Bajan Pure Purified Water. What images can you find of this bottle that was used during crop over? Good morning. Hello.
Good morning to you, Pearson.
How are you?
I'm good. You?
I'm well. Thank you for asking. So, you sound as though you know the answer.
I am guessing the answer based on what you said, and I believe it would be the Pride of Barbados flower that I can see on the screen.
Is that all?
And maybe the Barbados flag. I can't see well, but I think that. You think I see the flower?
So you can blame your eyes now.
I'm going to get my glasses. I can't see at all.
Lord have mercy. Look at you. Your eyes are bad for real then.
Very bad.
Well, but you're also very wrong. Thank you for trying though, okay?
Thank you. All right.
All right. Bye-bye. 228-5562 or 228-5563. I can't believe, but then again, I do believe, because I think our habit generally is we know what we've bought, but we don't pay attention to the labels. We don't pay attention. This label is so critical right now. Good morning. Hello.
Hello. Morning.
Hi. Morning. How are you doing, sir?
I am doing well. How about you?
Oh, I good too. I like the way you ask it. How are you? I am all right, my brother. So Bajan indeed. So listen, what's the answer?
All right, then let me tell you. I think it is the Bajan Pride flower. Plus the Bajan Pure Water logo. And everything in blue and like blue and heavy blue.
Listen, hold on. You're going to make me laugh. You have my production crew cracking up on the ground. What's your first name?
They're cracking up?
If they're cracking up, what's your first name?
Cortez.
Cortez?
Yeah.
Cortez, I have to cut you because you're short. You're wrong.
Around? Oh,
if you're wrong, listen, I don't want you to describe for me what you see on the label. I want you to tell me the names of the other images that were on the label. There's some particular...
Man. You tricked myself.
You trick yourself. Yeah, that's right. You trick yourself. But Cortez, thanks, sir. Thanks, buddy. Good. Now, we got to leave it right there. So, you know this question is coming back. You know how we work. You know how we work it. So get your bottle of Bajan Pure Purified Water. Look very carefully, because some of these might very well still be available to you. And there are some little things in there. Let me not show my bottle because you might spot it. Zoom in and see it. So there's some little other characters in there that we'd like you to be able to identify the next time we raise that question. All right? Thank you for trying. Let's turn our attention now to what's been happening on Sunday, what will be happening on Sunday with the Barbados Nurses Association. Joining us to remind us and how we can be a part is Faye Paris of the Barbados Nurses Association, and she's brought along another Paris, Mr. Franklin Paris, who's a gym owner and a personal trainer. Good morning, both of you, the Parises. Good. Say it again.
Good morning.
There we go. Now listen, let me look at you two very carefully. Are you two related?
It looks so. Well, yes. I wonder what gave it away.
But it's good to see you. Let's start with you, Faye. This is such a big event. You know, let's talk about when it's happening, what's happening, and how we can be a part of it.
This is really a big event for the executive and members of the Nurses Association. We want to show to the public that we understand the importance of living healthy. And so we would have birthed this idea of the 5K fun walk to the executive. And we are matching it with exercise and pleasure. So we would have the fun walk, the 5K walk, and a treasure hunt together on the 28th of August, which is this Sunday coming up. We have certain slogans that we want our public to remember about nurses. And the first one is that nurses, unsung heroes, and sometimes we are silent, but we are very much there. And we also want persons to remember diverse in practice. We have a lot of different aspects to nursing, but we are united in service. So we want to leave these messages with the public, and we want to have this event. We want to start from 2 p.m. Gathering from 2 p.m. We're going to go on the road at 3 p.m. And before we go on the road, we're going to have a session as true to nursing. We are going to offer the public a session where we can do a mini health fair, so you can come and get your blood pressure checks, etc. And we're also going to be mindful that before exercise, we have to be prepared. So we're going to do some warm-up sessions. And that is why Frank Paris is here, Body by Frank, to help us to understand what is important to do the warm-up sessions. And then we're going to have a cool-down session afterwards, after the walk. And then we will go into our treasure hunt, where we're going to explore the esplanade and find treasures and be rewarded for these treasures. And we also want to note that we have T-shirts that we are offering so that we can show our unity, and the donation for these T-shirts will be $25. And we also want to remember that the purpose of this walk also is to support the Prevention Childhood Obesity Coalition, of which we are a member, and some of the proceeds for this walk will go towards that noble cause. And we also want to thank Senator John King, who is going to be our Master of Ceremonies, and he is going to be walking with us on the road. So we really want to thank him and for his support and his encouragement and his impact on the walk.
Indeed, it's going to be fantastic. It's this Sunday, folks, $25 it is. And of course, you go to the Nurses Association, which is on Collymore Rock, opposite the Ursuline Convent. It's a walk or run. You do take your pleasure, take your pick, and you do it. It starts at 3, but you need to start assembling from about 2, where you'll participate in the health checks and so forth, and the warm-up sessions that Franklin will be taking us through. So, Franklin, Miss Paris said, you know, there's a reason why we need to warm up before. Almost slipped out, I know. So talk to me about the value of warm-up so that when people come, they understand why they need to get there a little bit early to do the warm-up.
Yes. Any form of exercise, you should really warm up, because there are several things that happen. One, your joints need to be warmed up in terms of have blood flowing through them and warming up the temperature of the body. This prevents soreness after the walk. Also, it prevents any injuries in terms of pulling muscles, that kind of thing. If you warm up, your joints are warm, the blood is flowing through your body, you can then prevent all this from happening.
So it's important to get there early enough to do so, because we want everybody, whatever age, to come. And so we want them to come early enough and come prepared to do the warm-up in your sneakers and your whatever you're going to be wearing as well on the day. Pardon me? Comfortable wear?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, that's fantastic. And it's not going to be too stressful. Frank, it's not going to be too stressful, right? Because, you know, we all don't have the same level of fitness as you. So I don't want to walk away feeling hurt by the end of it.
No, of course not. It's going to warm you up, not to be strenuous exercise. And then after the walk, we do some stretching to help prevent that soreness in the muscles as well.
Right. So that's important for us that we engage in this way, but we get ourselves ready. So even all like now, in anticipation of Sunday's fun walk and run, we can be doing little things around the house, can't we, Frank, to get our bodies right?
Yes, of course. Any form of activity keeping you mobile allows your muscles to be more flexible and ready for that kind of activity.
Right. All right. So it's this Sunday. And once again, Faye, walk us. The route starts at Bay Street Esplanade and you'll return to Bay Street Esplanade, right?
That's right. So we're going to start at Bay Street Esplanade. We're going to go up through Bush Hill, come around Dalkeith Road, down through, across Culloden Road, down through past Nita Barrow roundabout. Right. I got a little excited about Nita Barrow because she's a nurse. Yes. So we're going to turn left out on Belmont Road. We're going to pass in front of QEH, over to Jamet's Lane, and back up to Bay Street Esplanade.
It is going to be fantastic.
And when we go back up there, we will have the warm down session. Then we will engage in the treasure hunt, and this we want to really encourage persons to take part in the treasure hunt. We have prizes and giveaways that would involve the treasure hunt and for the walk as well. So we want to recognize maybe the oldest walker, the youngest walker, persons who got there first. Although we don't want it to be a race,
it's not a
we still want to
competition,
recognize persons.
Yeah.
Yes.
This is
And then
fantastic.
after that, we have 90 minutes of entertainment.
Okay.
After that session, after the treasure hunt, so that we can cater to everybody's likes. So we
Right.
have 90 minutes of entertainment, and we have 2 DJs.
Yeah.
We have King Switch.
No, you got 2 DJs. Don't tell me who they are. That's all right. So 90 minutes of entertainment right after, and it's going to be fantastic. But we have to leave it right there, Faye and Franklin. But we have to leave it indeed. But thank you so much. I really hope that many people do come out and lend their support to this effort by the Nurses Association. All the best with this on Sunday, okay? All right, thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. We're going to take a break here. We're coming back with even more in just a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you. Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
I'm sure you've heard of the RED Foundation, haven't you? If you haven't, we're going to introduce it again to you this morning, because joining us right now from the RED Foundation is the one, the only, Dr. the Most Honorable Tedson Wiltshire, and with him is the chairman of the RED Foundation, a good old CP man, Alvin Jummett. Good morning to you, gentlemen.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, man, welcome. RPB, good to see you again. I'm sorry, I'm gonna slip to that phrase. I can't but use that one. RPB. Now,
That's good. That's fine.
the activity is called Walk the Talk, and I'm curious as to why it's called Walk the Talk.
Morning to you again, Pearson. I think that it's very important that we back up what we say.
Yes.
And if we really care about our people, we need to do what is necessary to help. We need to be our brother's keeper. And this is why we call this walk the talk. Go to any length to help your brother or sister in need. And this is why we have the name Walk the Talk.
And so we're back, and it's going to be in the month of September. But what's different this year, if there is anything at all?
Well, there's the old saying that if something is not broken, there's no need to fix it. Last time people had a wonderful time when we walked from Ragged Point and we moved to the Concord Experience. That's a fairly long walk, but it's a beautiful walk. People had fun on the road. This year, when we end at the Concord Experience, we're going to move to the CBC car park. That is the only change. Last year we went to Sky Mall car park, and we're going to CBC car park.
Yes.
And we want to thank CBC for all their support. And that's the only difference. From there, the following Sunday, we're going to Lancaster down by Premier Seafoods. And then from Lancaster on the following Sunday, we're going to go all the way down to Darrell Jordan School in St. Lucie. It's a long walk, but it is it's a beautiful walk over 4 Sundays.
It is scenic, it is fun, it is for a very worthy cause, it is everybody involved. It's a great workout as well. You know, you guys are fit as a fiddle. I perhaps need to get as fit as you guys by taking the walk myself. I put my walk to the talk to the walk indeed. And so we want to encourage...
I'm expecting to see you, Pearson.
All right, I think I just stepped right into it. Now here it is. We want people now to don't just talk. Now let's get to action. And it's not just, I know we've always linked it to celebrities doing the walk as well, but we want as many Barbadians as possible to join in this effort as well, because it's a charitable activity. It's one where we're doing the give back. And so Alvin, explain to us about what this effort gives back to our community from the Red Foundation.
Well, thank you very much, Pearson. And let me go back a little bit to say that in 2020, when everyone was all over the place in terms of what was happening with COVID, and nobody kind of knew what to do, we decided that we were going to still force the effort to do the walk the talk. That year, we were able to provide over 100 hampers to Barbadians in need. And indeed, and in fact, there were Barbadians in need. There are still Barbadians in need. And this year we tried to do a similar thing by putting on our biggest fundraiser, Walk the Talk. And we hope to raise some $50,000 to be able to help our fellow Barbadians. And like my patron said, be our brother's keeper.
So how do we do that? How do we lend our support to help you raise this $50,000 to help our brothers and sisters?
Well, there are a couple of ways that we can do this. First of all, you can join the walk. According to Walk the Talk. Buy a t-shirt. It's $25 for the t-shirt. And you can also, when the walk starts on every Sunday, you can bring along a non-perishable item and drop it off either at the beginning or at the end of the walk. And that will help us to do the packaging when we get to that point. Or you can make a donation. Now, we have not only limited this to Barbadians, but we have set up a GoFundMe page, and we've encouraged the Barbadian diaspora, who are some of our biggest supporters, to go online, make a donation, and help us to be able to help others.
Indeed. So folks, go online and check it out for the GoFundMe account and make your donation. All of this goes towards very worthy causes of helping Barbadians through tough times indeed. But those t-shirts go on sale, because what is critical is that if we're going to participate, we have to look the part. And so those t-shirts go on sale from when and from where?
Right. And again, those t-shirts will be on sale from next week. And we will give you the exact time and date, but it will be sold from the CBC, ED collection point. And they are $25 for the t-shirt, and we'll do it over a couple of days so that people have a chance to come, collect the t-shirts, and look the part and walk the talk.
Indeed. So the first walk is on Sunday, the 4th of September. We're going to get our t-shirts from next week, and we are going to put them on and wear them with pride every single Sunday as we walk from Ragged Point, as Bag says, all the way down to the Darrell Jordan School, as if it's so far.
All the way down, all the way down to Darrell Jordan School. A beautiful walk, wonderful exercise. And by the way, Caribbean Wellness Day is in September.
Yes.
And second week in September. So, I mean, it's a perfect time to walk and get some good exercise, and at the same time, it's for a worthy cause. Your health, and we have to lift each other up. There's no, there's no greater feeling than helping your brother and sister in need. And this is why we do this. We really want to help.
You are so right. I feel the call to help, and so, folks, we're going to get our t-shirts. T-shirts will go on sale very soon, because every cent that we spend towards this goes to a very worthy cause. So you can purchase your t-shirt, you can go to the GoFundMe account, and you can make your donations. Don't forget, you can bring a non-perishable item which you can put into the kitty at the start of the walk or at the end of the walk. Come in groups, come in large groups, and let's all almost fill the highways as we make our walk right down to Darrell Jordan. But come real fast, because all of this is tending to a particular great need. So let's stop talking, just talking. Let's walk the talk now. Let's put our talk into action. Indeed so. We got to leave it there, gentlemen. Of course, we'll be contacting you a lot more to keep people abreast of how it's moving and how it's going. And here at the CBC, of course, we've already committed to lending our support. So we will share more as it goes to encourage more Barbadians to be a part of the RED Foundation and how we can lend our assistance, walking the talk. Thank you, RPB. Thank you, Alvin Jemmett, as well from the RED Foundation. All the best.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome, gentlemen. You're welcome indeed. Pleasure having them. We're taking a break here. We're coming back with more in just a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
"27 minutes now to go to the hour of 8 o'clock. You know, just a couple of days ago, an email dropped into my inbox, and it was an email from Nisha Woods. She joins me now. Good morning to you, Nisha.
Good morning, Pearson. Good morning, Barbados.
When I saw that email, I said, Nisha, how dare you? You've released another song to captivate me yet again. And it was so, I immediately played it. I immediately got up from my desk and I walked to everywhere I had to go to say, listen, Nisha just released a song. We have to get it into the system right away. I went to my producer. I said, Nisha just released a song. We got to get it on right away. It was so good. Congratulations.
Thank you so much, Pearson. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. This song is called Good to Me. Tell me why that title.
Well, Good to Me, well, the whole scenario and story behind the song is just different altogether. Because usually I would write songs based on if I hear a hook in my head, or if I see something that inspires me, or if I went through something. But this actual song happened in the reverse.
Oh.
And we can talk about that a little later. But the song, in terms of the title itself, was really reflective of just seeing and experiencing God's goodness, especially over the last 10 years that I've been doing ministry full time. And just seeing how God has really blown my mind over the last 10 years.
Yeah.
Really.
Because you've been not just producing phenomenal work, but you've been going some places as well, which is fantastic.
Definitely.
So God has...
And actually, I'm glad you...
Go ahead.
I'm actually glad you said that too, because how the song came about would have been through traveling. Because I started back traveling this year since the hiatus with COVID.
Yes.
And funny enough, I actually got an invitation, as I had shared on social media. Sanash had invited me for her 50th birthday celebration in Dominica. And I knew that I had some trips coming up, and I was trying to balance out to decide, you know, should I go or should I not go? But I said, you know what, if Sanat invited me, I said, you know what, there must be a reason. And after I decided that I was going to go, and I said, you know what, I can't let the waterfalls and the scenery of Dominica go to waste. So I said, you know what, let me see if I can reach out to one of my musical colleagues in Dominica and see if we can get on the ground and shoot a music video. So after I would have spoken to Calvin and we would have gotten things arranged, Then is when I sat down and wrote the song.
Wow.
So it wasn't a case where I actually wrote the song and I said, you know what, I'm going to do a video for this song. I did it in the reverse, decided I was going, thought about the scenery, and then I said, I'm going to sit down and write this song. And that's how then Good to Me came about.
You see, you're even sharing with me the reverse already without even you knowing it. You know, how everything just happened in the reverse. And there you were in beautiful Nature Isle of Dominica.
Yes,
really
Nature Isle.
inspired by all that's happening there, and Good to Me. You saw God speaking to you yet again.
Yes,
and
yes.
so now you're using your talent once again to speak to us, to remind us of how the goodness of God, truly the goodness of God. Because in this busy world that we're in, we become so caught up in those other things we've forgotten. Not just to say thank you, but to recognize how truly inspired He has been to us and inspiring to us. So this video was done in quick time. I mean, and the music is sweet. Lyrics aside, the music is sweet. We want to share just a little bit with our audience, if you don't mind. If you can, production crew, let's share a little bit of this video of the song Good to Me by Nisha Woods, and you'll get a sense of why I like it. All right, they're working on it. You know? But when I heard the beat, I started then to move. I said, yeah, Nisha, as usual, finding ways, because it must be difficult as an artist, finding new beats and new ways to do what you do.
Yes and no. I would say because usually I write my own music, and when I write the music, I usually would get the melody as well as I write. And I've found over the years, the best thing to do is to actually get different producers and utilize their strengths. So before, when I started singing, I would have like one producer.
Right.
And like they would do all my music, whether it was reggae, soca, dancehall. And then I realized, no, you can't do that.
Yes.
So I would have been able then to, over the years, forge a lot of relationships and know, okay, this producer is better in Afro, and this producer is better in soca, and this producer is better in ballads. And that's how then I was able then to link specifically with a guy named Ruel Lynch from Trinidad. And we just came back as well from Bahamas a couple of months ago, where we both would have won awards. He won the award for Producer of the Year. So he's the one who actually produced Good to Me.
Fantastic. Listen, I also, in doing a quick Google search this morning, I said, let me just see if there's anything new about Nisha out there that I probably didn't know about. And I discovered too that you were in St. Kitts, and there was such a demand for Nisha. It was so funny. How does it feel when you travel and you know that people absorb you in the way that they do?
To be honest, I was actually telling a friend of mine about 2 weeks ago. When I first traveled out of the island to sing, the response that I got, it was culture shocking, to be honest, because you know, here in Barbados, it's like, oh yeah, I know Nisha, yeah, I went to Nisha, or I know Nisha mother, I know Nisha grandmother. You know how Barbadians can be, right?
Yes.
But then when the first time I traveled, I think it was to US Virgin Islands in St. Thomas, and the response was amazing. So I just kind of get accustomed to it. It humbles you.
Yes.
To know that there are so many singers out there, but people love what you bring, love you, and love your vibe and everything. So it's humbling. It's humbling.
Listen, they're ready for me now. They're ready for it. Good to Me by Nisha Woods. Take a listen, take a look. Brand new Justin. Look at you, look at you, look at you. Indeed. Sweet, sweet. You see, folks, what I'm talking about? The beat is really good.
Yes.
What I like about it, it has the potential for crossover as well. You know, you don't feel that you get the gospel message, but you don't feel as if, oh my gosh, I'm in church right now in this song.
Right.
You get the feel. And that is
That's right,
fantastic.
right.
You know, we've had a viewer who called who says she's just back from Dominica, the nature island. It's beautiful, those stunning views. Beautiful indeed. And she too supports your work. You know, when you dropped it, we immediately had it on the air because it is good.
Thank you so much.
And you've been good to us too, Nisha. We want to thank you so much for the great work that you're doing. And I hope that God continues to bless your talent so that you continue to enrich the lives of so many more, not just here, but everywhere you go. Thank you for joining us this morning, and I wish you much success with your future projects. You're welcome, my friend.
Thank you so much, Pearson.
Take care. Bye-bye. Woo! Good to Me by Nisha Woods. We're going to take a break here. We're coming back with more in just a moment. We have 16 minutes left. Now I have to do my mathematics to try to balance it out between these next two acts that we're going to share with you on Morning Barbados today. First up is the multi-talented. He is a singer, writer, actor, creative director, producer, filmmaker, speaker, youth minister, Carlos Cobham. Good morning to you, Carlos. And with him is, I'm great, buddy. Him right down beneath him is MC Nice, another artist. Good morning, gentlemen. So good to see both of you.
Hey, yes, what's up, Barbados, all the way from LA? It's going down.
There you go. Now, Carlos, the last time I saw you, I stumbled upon Carlos. You know, we were at an event, remember? And I thought, because we're all masked up, as usual, I can't recognize you with the mask on until, and I was like, oh, Carlos is you. I felt so horrible not recognizing you right away. But again, you're doing such fantastic work, Carlos. And so today is a big day for you. Explain what's happening today.
Yes, sir. I am really elated to share my brand new single, Royalty, featuring MC Nice. This has been a song that has been on my heart for quite some time. I was just waiting on the Lord for the right time to share it. You know, get connected with BZ, actually, MC Nice's manager, and he's helping me with PR. And I was saying, BZ, I really think that we need to put up this song. And you know, he was able to come on board with me to help with the PR, radio. We already have it on some Billboard monitoring stations, and we're just excited to release it officially today. Royalty, featuring MC Nice.
And so we have the honor, really, of early in the morning sharing this with everybody. Indeed, tell me a little bit about Royalty and what it is that we will get once we engage with the production Royalty.
Sure. So I'll actually piggyback off of MC Nice from our radio interview the other day. You know, when we hear the instrumental, it's like this kind of, you know, a war kind of song, you know, declaration, encouraging that we are royalty, we are kings and queens, in God's eyes. Sometimes, growing up, we will all have our flaws, our difficulties, our battles, in how we see ourselves, how others will see us, etc. There's so much things that, affect our upbringing, but God, He has called us and He has said that we are royalty. So He has a blueprint upon us. And when we walk in that identity, we literally are called to carry out the authority that He has given us. So as we walk in that kingship and in that queenship that He has called us to be, we literally execute what He has ordained for our lives. So whatever it is, the calling that God has on your life, in order to step into that, we must understand, hey, we are kings and queens. We're not what society says we are. We're not how we feel we are. God sees us as royalty. Yeah.
Indeed. Now, MC Nice, we know Carlos. What was it like collaborating with him, our Bajan talent, to get this production out?
It's really interesting because when I first heard the record, I was like, okay, this is, it's the vibe was, it had the Warriors drum, as he was saying. And for me, it was like the message of, yeah, we royalty, we kings and queens, but at the end of the day, we have to unite the fight because we're pushing purpose and we're trying to bring people into the culture and into the kingdom. And so how do we do that if we're not united? And this is one of those records saying, yeah, we royalty, at the same time, let's unite together.
I mean, we're playing a little bit of the audio in the background so people can get a sense and a taste of it. And so getting this all together so that we can have this released today, how long did it take? How long was the project?
Well, to be honest with you, I had started writing probably a year now. And then I did a workshop with some young people. And they actually were learning how to write and come up with a song. And I asked them, what do you guys think about this verse? And they loved it. And, there was another verse that was empty. I just never completed it. And I said, you know what, maybe we should do a feature. And then I shared it with MC's manager, Vonzel Washington, from Yarish Entertainment. Shout out to them. They have been really helpful with this record. And from there, MC Nice, he decided to come on board, and he knocked that out in less than a week. So, I'm just grateful for bringing it all together.
This is great. MC Nice, there's a place for young people to hear the message. And I think through this vessel, you're connecting with that different experience called youth. How valuable do you think this project is to their existence, to helping them to understand who they truly are and whose they truly are?
In these days and times, it's always important to really, because the music that's out today is not really reflective of how we move and how we march, and so you need the alternative. Always tell the young to strive for perfection so that you limit your mistakes, and I always say that for any great achievement, someone has to be the first to do it. So why not you? And through music, we can be the beacon that gives the youth the alternative to look to in regards to that. I've been in the music business 30 years and multi-platinum producer, been associated with multiple awards, Billboard charts, and at the end of the day, it's always refreshing and new to me every time I put out a record. And so doing a record with Carlos was absolutely fantastic.
This is beautiful. This is great music already, Carlos. I love it. I love the beat of it indeed. So where can we get copies of this so we can download it and we can listen to it constantly so it resonates with us? Where?
Sure. As of today, you can get it everywhere digital, from Spotify. You can get it on Apple Music, Deezer, everywhere you can find music, iTunes. Go ahead, download it, stream it, share it, request it on radio. Yeah, it should be in the system by now, right, Pearson?
That is correct. That is correct. Thanks a lot, gentlemen. We got to leave it right there. But thank you, Carlos. Again, another great project you and MC Nice have worked on and to release royalty today, which we need at the moment because sometimes we've been somehow painted in the light of some horrible expressions, and so we want to reassert ourselves as true kingdom people, and we want to recognize our own royalty as well. So thank you very much and good luck with the future projects as well. Carlos Cobham and MC Nice joining us this morning. Thank you.
Hey, thank you for having me.
You're welcome indeed. Good man.
Thank you, sir.
All right, we're taking a break right away. When we come back, Chian and many more in just a moment. We have 8 minutes now to go to 8 o'clock. Listen, our entertainment landscape is changing. You better believe it. Some young people are very talented and they're coming through. One of Barbados' best vocalists is Chian. She joins us now. She's laughing. It's the truth. I've told you this before, Chian. She's joined this morning with Daniel Boyce and Mosi Daniel. Good morning to each of you.
Morning, person.
Good morning. And you are in studio doing great work and producing great work as well, you know, because truly, when we think of it, you are one of Barbados, you are a group of Barbados' truly best people. So, Chian, let's talk with you. Working with these guys, how has it been?
Oh, man, it's so hard. No,
We said we were not
I
gonna
had
do
so
this.
much fun. As you can see, it's really fun. It's really, really, really fun. So,
Yeah.
I'm glad.
I mean, we're fortunate to have recordings of your voice, recordings of your music, which we play constantly, so people now know and are able to recognize your voice. And so, how important is that to you at this time?
At this point, nothing beats it because it's like you create your content with the intention that people get to experience it and people get something from it. So the more people you reach, the better. And we're really grateful for the platform. So thank you so much for sharing my art.
Not a problem at all. Mosi, dealing with a talent like her, like Chian, how has that been for you from that perspective? And ensuring that you know that you position her music and position her in the way that we can all enjoy and reap success.
You don't get back at you know.
Yeah.
Terrible. Working with her has honestly been one of the greater joys in my life. But it's challenging, you know, because she is not necessarily what we are accustomed to in Barbados.
Yes.
So it's all the challenge to try to fit her in. Timing releases and so on is particularly interesting.
Mm-hmm.
But it's fun though, because I think that the musical palette of Barbados is, you know, it's kind of expanding, you know. People are eclectic, and especially younger people coming up now, they like all kind of different music.
Yes.
So it's becoming easier, you know. People just like good music. People just want to feel good, you know.
You're right. She is so super talented. She can sing almost anything, and that's what I love about Chian. You know, when I met her for the very first time, I had to let her know that. I'll admit her, this is my second time engaging with her, and that is what I love about what we've been able now as Barbadians to produce. Talented people who are able to don't just sing in one lane, but can sing in many lanes at the same time. And to find producers and groups like yourselves who are able now to be able to challenge her to go where she needs to go so that we can enjoy her in the different ways that we enjoy her. And so, Daniel, now you're capturing all of this. You're capturing Chian and the essence of who she is and what she produces. Now, my question to you is the same. How easy is that for you?
Man,
get back at her.
I won't say how many takes we had to do. But nah, it's a blessing, honestly. Like,
yes.
We formed a great collective, and you know, we work together seamlessly. You know what I mean? And I think we put out a project that speaks for itself. You know, it's doing numbers on YouTube right now.
Insane.
Yeah.
Doing
Yeah.
YouTube right now.
So there it is.
And,
We're seeing some of the work on our screen here of Tool Like You, or is it? So it's the world premiere. So is it Tool Like You or Tool Like You?
Yeah, so it's too late, Q.
Right. And what's the concept? What's the thinking here of Tool Like You?
Basically, there's no two that are the same. Is what that comes down to. So when you're looking at somebody and saying there's no two like you, there's nobody else like you.
Yes.
Trying to translate.
I love it indeed.
Yeah.
And so looking at yourself, because obviously that's not a Barbadian landscape, so you were somewhere else while you were filming that.
Oh, yes, we were. We caught a flight. We went to New York to shoot that. Yeah.
Yes. This is great. So
I hadn't been to Atlanta for a while, so that was really nice.
Oh, I can imagine. I can well imagine. So there we are, and you would have worked along with Shea Bascom, who wasn't so well today, so he couldn't make it today. And so working with him as well to produce Two Like You and released now, you know, what's the future? What's the future for this project in terms of marketing and getting it out there?
We are trying to get it on everything, so we ain't playing that game. And Shay has been fantastic. Shay has been on every platform sharing his life away. It's always fun working with him. Shay's a fantastic rapper. He's a fantastic producer. He's a lot of my music. Well-rounded guy, really, really well-rounded. I'm very that's my guy. You're our girl indeed.
And so we want everyone to know it's available now, Two Like You. And for those who are watching, it's everywhere that music is downloaded, we can get it?
It's up. So we're on Spotify, we're on Apple Music. And you can catch the video on YouTube. And yeah, we're everywhere. Let's stream that. Let's get those numbers up.
There we go. It's up. Listen up.
I got caught up in the violence, found myself on the sideline. Days I drifted by and lost the plot of it. Making up time, now line by line, I try to redefine what has come to be. Tipping the scales in favor of joy, changing what's out there. Yeah, I know the love is coming to me. Searching for a reason. When it's hard, it's easier to leave it. What was black and white can cause confusion. It's a blurry line while sipping white wrong. And I ain't gonna lie, you got a vibe I can find in the next one like you. And I ain't gonna
Nice. The video is beautiful. The song is great as well. Listen, guys, I really want to thank you so much. I wish you the very best always. And keep continuing to create. We are thirsty for these kinds of creations here at the CBC for real. And we encourage you to continue to interact with us all the time. We're happy to showcase your music and your talent as well. Thank you so much. Chian, Daniel, and Mosey for joining us. You're welcome. All the best.
Thank you.
Listen, with all of that, the rain just started outside. Could you imagine that? That's a blessing. You're
welcome.
Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Indeed, you do too. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Have a good one. Bye-bye. That song is called Two Like You. It's by Chian. It's available across platforms, Chian and Shy. Now, before we go, just want to remind you, tomorrow is Jackie Opel Day. There's going to be a big activity in town. And then the big roundtable discussion in the Grand Salle of the Central Bank. You can also watch it on the Barbados National Library Service Facebook and YouTube channels. And also tomorrow is In Winner's Circle, You, Your Child, and Social Media. That session will be conducted by Madam Justice Barbara Cook-Aline and Stephen Williams, an IT expert. It is too available online. There's the information for the meeting code and the meeting password. It's on Zoom, and we'd love to, as many of you as possible, as we get ready to engage with our children back to school. It's a parent webinar series indeed. So much happening, but we're thankful that you're part of it. So we encourage as many of you as possible to lend your support to all of these activities. Thank you so much for being with us today. Thank you so much for being with us this week. My producer has been Alicia Asgrant, Technical Director Anderson Nurse. At Sound today has been Christopher Blenman, and at Master Control, my girl, Tamisha Green. I'm Pearson Boyne for all of them to each of you. Have yourselves a wonderful today and a great weekend. See you next week.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Barbados, get up.